Creation is your superpower. Let's tap you in. So, before we truly begin, I'm going to talk about my journey with creation and how it all started. So, in 2024, when I was making my first dream board ever, I set the intention for that year, picking a word for that year, and the word was creation. Hello, beautiful souls. So I'm looking back at the recording, and I didn't think you could really hear the children in the background as much as you can. So please, hopefully it doesn't distract you as much. During the recording, it was pretty distracting. So if you see moments of me kind of losing my internal stability, I was getting distracted by it, but I hope it's not as distracting for you. But yeah, I just was looking back and watching the recording, and it is pretty distracting, but I feel like I was flowing, so I don't really want to re-record it because I love when I'm in my flow. So yeah, hopefully you stick to the end of the video because it is a beautiful, profound message. Bye. I had picked that word because I was really feeling that I wanted to write a poetry book. And so I was like, okay, so if I want to create creations out in the world, then I need to physically do them and physically create these books. So therefore, this year will be a year of creation, a year where I'm physically doing things to physically create things. So I set that intention out into 2024. Yeah, the year 2024, set that intention out, not knowing the magnitude of that word and truly how profound it is and how truly it is an energy, and not only the act of physically doing things, but it truly is an energy that holds magic, an energy that is something greater than I ever thought I would experience, an energy that is truly a superpower we can all truly tap into. And now I see a superpower that was calling me to tap into it. Because, like I mentioned before, I thought that since that year was going to be about creation, that I will have to physically do the things like that. That was how my mind worked then. My mind, which I was on the beginning truly of my spiritual journey. At that point, I thought I was very much far along on my spiritual journey. Now I see that it was only just the beginning. I had this like heart opening of my heart towards love to myself, towards love for life. And so I truly, it was a beautiful journey of this heart opening towards myself, towards love, life, like I said. But it was also then a journey of going on a even more deeper spiritual journey, a deeper spiritual journey with myself, with the world, with the I with the experiences I had. And truly this deeper spiritual journey of seeing that yes, this love and this heart opening is so beautiful and so amazing, but it also takes building other inner foundations to then be able to be and create in this life, and create a life you love, create a life that you feel you are worthy of, that with just the heart opening, without other internal foundations, you there's this, I don't want to say weakness because the heart is not weak, but in this physical world we need those other foundations, the foundations of safety, the foundations of inner trust, the foundations of confidence, in order to also sustain that love within us, that love in just this heart that once it opens and doesn't have a lot of these other things, that our heart holds so much power, but it also takes a level of inner power and inner strength to then be able to share your heart with the world, to be able to share your true authentic self with the world, to be able to share your love with the world, to be able to share your love frequency with the world, takes a lot of inner power and inner strength. And that was the journey that I would then embark on. But that's not about this video. This video is about creation. And so the energy of creation, like I said, I put that intention out into the world, not knowing the magnitude of it. And so that was in December. And then in February, I believe I didn't know I was going to enter a course called Magnetic Essence of Feminine Energy. And I really delve into the feminine energetics of the world. And now looking back, I see that when I made the dream board and said that my word for the year was creation, I looked at it in such a masculine energy type of way. The masculine energy that I am going to have to do all the physical things to create these books. But now, looking back and learning more of the feminine energetics and more of the secrets of the universe, you can say, and more of the divine truths that are out there, that creation starts within. Creation starts with looking within and seeing that we hold the power in creating ourselves, to hold the energy of being the artist of our lives. And then from that inner work, the inner looking towards ourselves, our external reality begins to shift in a way that is more effortless than physically doing these things. Because I, in the beginning, when like I said, I wanted to create my books, and also I wanted to start posting online and posting all this content. Looking back, when I was in this energy of me truly having to do all the things externally, it came with a lot of pressure, with a lot of stress, with a lot of OMG, I have to do all these things. But the moment I began to uncover the truths that it takes, unlocking truths within myself, that allowed the motions I did then to become more effortless, such as unlocking the courage to start all these things, which at that moment seemed like so much and so many actual external things. But the more I learned about creativity and the more now that I see it, it's a beautiful thing, the energy of creation. Because when we tap into that frequency and when we tap into that potential, creation is an energy of potential. It is one of the highest energies of potential, in my opinion, because it is an energy that unlocks so much potential within us. It is an energy that is this energy of creativity. And creation is in connection with the creator of all things, that source energy, that God energy. And when we tap into that energy of creation, we just unlock all of these possibilities in our world, all of these endless possibilities, you can say. And that for me was a big realization, to see that the energy of creativity is something greater than just creating physical things in the world. Because when we think from our minds that we have to create everything ourselves, that we are alone in that creation, that we are alone in that creation, and that we have to do everything ourselves, that is a moment where we feel powerless. We feel powerless because we feel like there's nothing supporting us. It's kind of like there's no life in these creations, because there's no energy in these creations. There's no soul in these creations, because we feel like there's just this physical thing of doing. But the moment we tap into the energy of creation, the truth of the energy of creation, and see the energy of creation as something living, we see the energy of creation as something moving, as something flowing, as something divine, as something in connection with something greater, then we're able to rest in that. We're able to source from that. We're able to see the divine magic in that, and see that we are not alone in that. That it's not necessarily about all the physical things we have to do on the outside, but it is about connecting with that source energy, the source energy of God, of creation, who holds so much more magnitude and and magic than we could by ourselves. That's why the energy of creation is the energy of creation is truly a superpower, because it is this life energy, this divine energy that once we allow into our lives transforms us from the inside out. It it is an energy that begins with us from a higher source. It begins in us. And that's why my view of creation at that point was so external. And the moment I began to look more inward in the sense that, okay, I can begin to create myself as the version of myself who has received the physical things, that it is about unlocking within me the truths of divine creation. And it is about me unlocking and seeing myself to be someone who can change from the inside in order for there to be an effect on the outside. And when I say change, this does not mean molding yourself to be someone you are not, but it actually means unlocking the truth of who you really are. Because, like I mentioned before, when I thought of creation, I was looking at it from such a mind perspective. And when I was looking at it as in such a mind perspective, I didn't see the truth of it. That was such a perspective that so many people have, that has been adapted onto us. But once you turn your eyes inward and begin to open yourself up to the energy of creativity, to the energy of love, to the energy of God, a divine source, you see that so many things that are normal and so many things that have been placed upon us to believe are actually not the truths of God, the truths of source, the truths of potential, but they are more these not truths that limit us and make us think that life has to be more forceful and more hard than the effortless love of God, of source. And it is a journey, like I mentioned, for me, it was a journey to tap into that energy of creation. And I want to read a poem that's in my book, Helping People Breathe, now. And this is the poem. Life is creation. In the way that you create your reality with your perspectives, views, assumptions, and beliefs. So create the reality you desire, utilizing your creative ability to create your life. I am an artist. I create my reality. And that poem was birthed also from a place, like I mentioned before, that not seeing yourself as being a conscious creator in your reality, of being a conscious artist in your reality, then you are giving your power away. You give your power away to the outside world instead of seeing yourself as a conscious creator, a creator who holds so much potential, a creator who can create the life of their dreams. And it starts with that realization, seeing that and allowing that to become birthed and realized within you. And the moment you allow yourself to see that creation is not just about external doing, but creation is about internally tapping into an energy, which I have over here. It says being in connection with creation, which is in connection with the creator. And being in connection with the creator causes emotion within you. It causes you to unlock truths within you. It causes you to begin to see the world in a different way, to begin to see a world where it does not have to be a world of such external forcing. But the moment you look towards yourself and look inward, oh, I thought there was a bug. The moment you look inward and begin to see that the energy that you are is more important, the frequency that you are is more important, the the energy behind your actions is more important, the energy behind how you move in the world, but the energy of how you show up, since everything is energy. And allowing yourself to tap into that life force energy begins to create more life around you, begins to create more attraction around you for the energy that you are vibrating. That's why it is so beautiful to see that it can be effortless, but it is not effortless in the way that you are not doing anything and you are just still and stagnant. It is effortless in the way that the moment you tap into the energetics of it and begin to change your internal world, your external world reality begins to match that. But it's effortless because it is the energetics, but it's not just not doing anything and being stagnant and motionless. It is a beautiful world of the energetics, and that is also the order of creation. First there is energy, then there's thought, and then there is the physical. And so you can't have the order of creation the other way with doing the physical things. That is causing the resistance in your life, is looking so externally. And like I mentioned, it is not about not doing anything. It is about doing the internal work and then being able to hear the voice of your intuition. That is your intuition in connection with God, in connection to the creator, a higher source, that is then giving you the divine downloads, the divine intuitive hits to move out in the world. But it's not emotion only. It is emotion that comes and is birthed within you, birthed through you. Okay, like this is the motion I want to take. This is the motion that I feel like is in connection with my heart. And God is whispering in your heart. Source of creation is God, which speaks to you through your intuition. And a beginning part of my journey was seeing that, like I mentioned, my heart had opened up to this world of love. And then I had seen that I had placed so much external beliefs onto me that weren't the true essence of what my heart desired. And then a very important moment for me was seeing if I'm not crazy for hearing a whisper in my heart for me to do something that is very outside of just what everyone else was doing in my life. I had wanted to no longer go the route I was going at, which was just finishing college and getting a job, but I wanted to explore the depths of life, the beauties of life, and do something I was passionate about, something that I felt my heart was truly craving, which was to begin to create my poetry books and to begin to create and sharing myself online. My heart was so open to all of that, but I lacked the internal foundations for me to believe that that voice was true, that that voice was God's whisper. And so if you're in such a moment where you are feeling this inkling in your intuition and your heart, and are afraid to go after it or feel like this is the moment you're going after it. And if you want to tap into that energy, more of that energy of beginning to hear your intuition, hear what God is whispering for you to create, but that truly comes from a place of your heart, that internal you, your soul essence in connection to something greater that is not from your mind, but truly from your heart, and how to truly connect with your heart to quiet the chaos of your mind and to begin to listen to your heart and create a life that is truly yours, because you can only create a life that is aligned with you by listening to your heart and not the chaos of your mind. Then I am hosting a 2-day journey on June 25th and June 26th, and you can find the link to that down below. And if you're watching after June 25th and 26th, click the link anyway, because the recordings will be available. And so it is called God's Whisper, exactly for us to see that we are in connection with something greater, and that something greater is God, the creator, source, whispering in our hearts. And our hearts are wanting us to move from that internal state to begin to create a life we love, because we are the artists of our reality and we are always creating. But is what we are creating truly something that is aligned with our inner soul, our inner heart? Or is it just something that we are passively creating and not actively being in the motion of creating and choosing and being conscious of? So that's what I invite you into. Remember, creation is a superpower, and it is a superpower we can all tap into to begin creating a life we love, a life that is the life of our dreams, a life that is truly in a state of freedom, expansion, peace that potential lies within all of us. It is a matter of tapping into it. Remember that today, and have a beautiful and lovely rest of your day. And like, comment, subscribe to become part of the Soul family. Bye.